Welcome back to McPhee Ford. Today we're going to be talking about the Maverick Tremor off-road package. This particular Maverick here is actually our very first Tremor Maverick that we received here at McPhee Ford, and we're going to go over the entire Tremor off-road package. It includes everything you get with it and also how much it cost. This particular Maverick here is an XLT and is finished in hot pepper red. Now the Tremor package is only available with XLT and Lariat models, not available with XL. And it's also only available with the 2-liter EcoBoost engine. Because the hybrid is only offered as a front-wheel drive model, the 2-liter is the only way to go. So it's 2-liter, which makes 250 horsepower. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic, and again, is all-wheel drive. We're going to start here with the sort of exterior differences that you get with the Tremor package. We'll start here with the front end, where we do have the LED headlights, which is actually standard across every Maverick, so that's not different, but the headlights do have a sort of darkened housing. It's like a blacked out housing that you get with the Tremor package, and you also get darkened taillights, which I will show you here in a second. So the headlights are different, and you'll also notice the sort of gold orange color that you see here in the grille. That's kind of like a Tremor color. It's on the F-150 as well, so you have like the orange sort of gold color that you see. It's in the grille, and it's kind of scattered throughout the entire Maverick as well with that Tremor package. We'll move down here a little bit. We do have the exposed tow hooks, which again are finished in that sort of orange gold color. We do have a different sort of lower bumper here, so it has more approach angle, which is of course better for off-roading. So you do get increased approach angle, sort of more like a sloped front end there. Now we do actually have skid plates under here. Ford does have a front skid plate, mainly just for the engine, the transmission, that kind of thing. So we do have a little bit of a skid plate, but we don't have like the full skid plate that you would see on like an F-150 Tremor right here, but we do have a little bit of skid plate protection. But if we move around to the side, we do have a different wheel and tire setup. Now, first thing you'll notice is sort of that orange little pocket that you see here. A lot of people don't actually know what this does. This is because the valve stem cap. So if you're not familiar with this, when you go off-roading, typically you would air down the tires, lose a little bit of tire pressure, just to give you a little more grip, to increase the contact patch on the ground. So Ford kind of makes it easy to kind of highlight basically the valve stem where it is. Now, is it necessary? Not really, but it's there just to kind of like as an Easter egg, a little bit of a gimmick, but it's there. And it's a different sort of wheel design from the non-Tremor package, and it does sit on a Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tire, 235, 65, 17. It's actually available on other Mavericks, but it's standard here with the Tremor package. And the Tremor also does sit a little bit higher than a non-Tremor as well. So Ford give it a little bit of a leveling kit, so it sits higher in the front and maybe in the little bit of rear as well. And you'll see here we also do have the sort of gold, sort of orange finish with the XLT badge there. And of course the Maverick is only offered as one configuration, which is sort of the 4-door with that sort of short 4.5 foot bed. So there is no other way you can configure it, but there's your Tremor badge right there on the side of the box. Just like an F-150 or a Super Duty or a Ranger, you have the badge right there. And again, of course, finished in that orange color. But if you move on to the back end here, of course we have another Tremor badge. This one does have the tow package, so we do have the tow package right here. We have a hitch. This is actually included with the Tremor. You do get the hitch, which is included. Now, this does not include the 4K tow package, which would give you the 7-pin connector, but this one does have the Class 4 hitch back here, so you can tow a little bit with this with the Tremor package. Now, the 4K tow package is actually not available here at least in Canada. It's not available with the Tremor, which we're not entirely sure why. But Ford, you can't get the 4K tow package with the Tremor. It's either one or the other. And I just turn the headlights back on so we can get a look at the taillights here when they're lit up. So we actually do have the LED strip that you kind of see goes around the outside, which is typically on the Lariat models, but this one's an XLT, so you would typically just see like the halogen part, but Ford actually put in the LED strip that goes around the outside, makes it look a little bit more modern. But again, it does have the sort of darkened housing here, especially with the chrome pieces. They are fully blacked out, and they also kind of darkened up the red parts a little bit too, so they're different from the regular non-Tremor taillight. But the badges also have the blacked out sort of colors. So typically they're blue, Ford blue, but they black it out for the Tremor package. Take a look at the bed. Nothing's actually different back here at all. This one has a spray-in bed liner. You still have box lighting. We do have a 400-watt inverter outlet. This one has the XLT luxury package, so you get a couple extra things, which includes the inverter outlet. But nice spray-in bed liner, which is, I think, a must-have. This one also has a hard trifold tonneau cover. I'm going to try to give you a good look at the suspension back here. We do have Tremor branded suspension, which you can maybe see there. The shocks do have a little Tremor logo there on them. So again, they are different from the non-Tremor shocks. Again, just sit a little bit higher as well. But now we'll look at the inside, where we do have a couple of more differences with the Tremor package. So first thing, I guess the main thing being the seats. So the seats are different. They do have, of course, again, the orange stitching as well as the Tremor badge there on the back. Again, just like the F-150 and all the other Tremor models. Nice orange Tremor badge there. This one, the seats are power with the luxury package as well. They're power operated, two-way lumbar, so they're very comfortable. They're heated, all that, so they're very, very comfortable seats. So again, seats look really good. I think actually Ford did a great job with these seats. The sort of like gray denim look they did here with the face of the bucket and the sort of just the black color on the outside. I think they really, really knocked it out of the park with these seats. The door panel is actually identical to a non-Tremor. They haven't really changed much with the door panel at all. Of course, everything, all your power controls right here. And if you take a look around the entire interior, we'll step inside here. We'll fire it up. This one has the sort of regular stick and key because it's not a lariat. If you get a lariat, you do get the keyless fob with push button start. This one you still have to stick it in and turn it, which is some people may prefer. So we do have that with this Maverick. But if we take a look around the interior, just kind of look at the general design. One thing to note here, Ford didn't really go too crazy with the Tremor package. Not like the F-150 where they kind of went kind of crazy with the color and everything and the stitching and the orange and all that. This one they didn't really do too much, if I'm going to be honest. Not even on the steering wheel. I kind of thought they would do at least orange stitching on the steering wheel, or maybe even on the dash somewhere, but they didn't. They didn't really change it too much. If you're familiar with the regular XLT Maverick or even a Lariat, this will look very, very similar. So again, here the steering wheel is the same, nice leather wrapped. It's also heated with the luxury package, so it'll be nice heated steering wheel. The gauge cluster is the same. We have the same gauge cluster. It's not a digital screen yet. I'm sure we'll get a digital display at some point, but for now, we have the same display here, as well as all the switch gear here in the middle are the same. Now, where we do have some differences and when we get down to the sort of off-road buttons. So we have a little Tremor badge right here. We do have unique drive modes to the Tremor, or sort of unique tuned drive modes that you get with the Tremor package. We also have the four-wheel drive lock and the locking rear differential. Now, if you're familiar with the Bronco Sport Badlands, these will look very familiar, mainly because they're actually borrowed basically straight out of that. Because this shares a very similar platform. So we have four-wheel drive lock, which will lock the four-wheel drive system, make sure all four wheels are getting power. And we also have the locking rear differential. Now, I believe this is a clutch-based system, not like in the F-150 where it's like, I guess, gear-based. This one is clutch-based, I believe. If you know in the comments, feel free to let us know. I'd certainly like to confirm that, but locking differential, and then we also have the trail control right there. Trail control, basically, it's like a off-road cruise control. It allows you to set the cruise control to a really, really low speed, like 1 or 2 kilometers an hour, and it'll basically maintain the speed. You don't have to touch the pedals. It just allows you to focus on the steering so you can make sure you're going in the right direction. So it's kind of like a little off-road cruise control. Auto hold, which is also available on non-Tremor, and of course your traction control right there in the middle. But other than that, the interior is, again, very, very similar to a non-Tremor package. Again, Ford didn't go too crazy here. We do have some little exposed screws, so it's still like a nice little rugged truck here. But we'll take a look at the rear seat. So again, we do have the orange stitching back here, and again, the same design as the front seats, that sort of gray denim look. This one also has a little center console back here that we can fold down to access some cup holders. Again, there's another 400-watt inverter outlet. All of your plugins, everything like that, keeping charged up. The floor mats are actually also the same as well. I thought we would see Tremor branded floor mats, but they're not. They're just black floor mats. I don't want to take them out of the bag because this is a sold unit. I don't want to rip these out yet, but these are just black floor mats. They don't say Tremor on them, unfortunately. So there are a couple things that I wish kind of Ford kind of did just to kind of differentiate it. So we have that with the floor mats. So that's it for some of the key differences that you get with the Tremor package. There are a couple of little different things. You have a heavier duty radiator, extra cooling capacity, just like the FX4 package. But that's basically it for the Tremor. Now we're going to go over some pricing, what this package costs on each trim level. Now there's actually two different versions of the Tremor package. So the Tremor off-road package like we have here, and there's also the Tremor off-road appearance package, which gives you a couple of extra things. So it's like the mirrors, they're carbonized gray finish mirrors, and also the roof is carbonized gray. You also have a little bit of a graphic on the bottom here, and also the door handles are carbonized gray as well. So you have four different little appearance things that you get with the appearance version of the Tremor package. Now that package is $5,400, and the regular Tremor is $3,400, so it's $2,000 more. These are Canadian prices, by the way. I'll put the American conversion in the screen here, but so it's $2,000 more for the appearance package. Personally, I feel like it's not really worth that much for just the gray sort of roof and the mirrors and that kind of thing. I would just stick with the regular Tremor package because you certainly get your money more with the regular Tremor. Now the Tremor is only available, again, with XLT and Lariat, not available with the XL model. And again, only 2-liter all-wheel drive, which definitely makes sense because, again, hybrid is only offered as the front-wheel drive model. But the Tremor packages do cost the same on both XLT and Lariat. There is no difference in price, $3,400 on both and $5,400 with the appearance version. But that'll pretty much do it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more Maverick Tremor content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.